welcome back to me talking about my version of the Marauders in podcast. Wait, no.
Wait, this is wrong. This is wrong.
We got it.
Hi, and welcome back to me talking about my version of not the Marauders, but my Snelch fan fiction that I have written and spent multiple hours of my life on. And I don't know how to host a podcast, so now we're just gonna go.
Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. It's gonna be great.
Right.
This is Jasmine's version.
All right, so let's talk about what this.
Yeah.
What even is this? How did this start? And because many people don't know. I'm
So
sure.
yeah, we were on a live stream.
You had COVID.
Was this when I had COVID?
Yes, this is when you
Oh
had
my
COVID.
gosh. So I had COVID and Elizabeth was doing a live stream and I asked to join very nicely. I was like, please, can I join the live stream?
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was talking to, I was talking to some of the people who were on the live stream and it was a grand old time. And then I don't know who came up with the idea.
Yeah, we need to credit them somehow, but I don't know who it was who started it.
I think it might have, I know one person who talked to me about it was Addison Rogers.
Okay.
And that's her TikTok handle, but I don't know who else. But so if that's you, tell us.
Yeah,
tell us. We want to give you credit.
Yeah. So Addison was like, "Do you ship Snilch?" And I was like, "Why would I do that?" And then you were like, "Oh,
Absolutely.
let me do this." Yes,
I absolutely ship Snilch. And so then I made a wild promise to write a Snelch fan fiction for no reason because I had COVID and was delusional.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this on the car ride over here. You were saying like, oh, Snape is just, you can't see him romantically with anyone, and Filch, you can't see him romantically with anyone, and that's why it works out.
That's why it doesn't work out in my mind, though.
That's exactly why it does work out, because it cancels out. PEMDAS, you learned this in school. I'm making too much noise right next to the microphone.
I was homeschooled, so I didn't learn anything.
You look like you were homeschooled. Anyway, so here's the... You have a Harry Potter themed podcast. Like no, we got to acknowledge.
I'm cool. I don't know what you mean, but we can chat for a little bit. But
we can chat for a little.
Yeah,
I love chatting.
Of course we can chat. But I feel like we should chat because we need to acknowledge that you were on my podcast before.
Oh, that is true. Oh,
but not.
Yes. So yeah. I was on this podcast, but that was before I was trans. Or no, it wasn't before I was trans. That is not the language.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's not the correct language. That's the language that I use in reference to myself because that's easy for me. But
before you transitioned, for sure.
Definitely before I started transitioning, I was out to like a few people. I don't think I was out to you yet.
No, because here's the thing. On that podcast, do you remember? Like when I go and I have everybody introduce themselves name and pronouns, you said they them.
I did.
You had never told me that before that moment, and I was like,
in my defense, my entire coming out process was me just being like telling two people, and then those two people would tell like four people. It's like a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
It's like a pyramid scheme, but it's me being trans.
Okay.
And so then everyone...
But yeah, I was not made aware, and that was really kind of a funny moment for me, because I was like, well, shoot, you said that, and you made it seem... It wasn't like a moment where you were like, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
and so
no.
It made it seem like I had known, and then I wasn't used to it, so I used the wrong pronouns like at some point in the episode.
Because you're a terrible friend and you hate me.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. No. Elizabeth hates me because I am transgender.
I'm gonna get canceled again if you do that.
Oh, that's true. Don't actually cancel Elizabeth.
No.
She's actually one of the sweetest people I know in real life.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Oh my god.
Is there anything else we need to talk about? What else can we... what's the name of Filch's cat?
Mrs. Norris.
Mrs. Norris.
You keep on forgetting that. You've asked that like about 1 million times.
I feel like we had part of a conversation about that. Who is Mr. Norris?
Filch.
No.
Is his name Filch Norris? No, his name is Argus Filch.
No. I am not writing it into the fan fiction that Mrs. Norris...
You're telling me you don't want that. I'm kidding. I can't even joke about that. I can't.
I'm gonna get you canceled for real.
You really are.
I'm gonna make a TikTok tomorrow.
Oh my
This is gonna be like,
gosh.
Elizabeth called me a slur? Question mark, question mark, question mark, parentheses, all caps, not clickbait.
Please don't.
But I'm gonna make it a TikTok, so it's gonna be confusing.
I feel like we should tell the story of because you have epilepsy.
I
And
do
you're
have
very,
epilepsy.
You're very open with that.
Yes, love having epilepsy.
yeah.
I don't. It's not fun.
I
But
would
it's-
imagine it is not.
Yeah.
But,
Bright flashy lights. I posted a TikTok about it. Go watch it.
Okay.
It's one of my pinned videos.
Okay.
Shameless plug. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst.
No, you're fine. This is your podcast now.
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
care.
this is my podcast.
I don't care.
Everyone
But,
follow me on all of the medias linked in the description.
that I will be linking and posting because this is all going up on my account.
Because this is her account and she's also the one editing it. Please. Wait. I don't know how good your editing skills are.
Oh, they're not. They're
But
not good.
Right
But,
now, can you
okay.
just very quickly Photoshop, or not Photoshop, just sort of superimpose a picture over my face, and can it be a picture of Richard Nixon? Here, I'll pose for it.
Why? What is
And-
the point?
No, because, and then right now, I'm going to do my Richard Nixon impression.
Oh no.
Hey, it's me, Richard Nixon. I did the Watergate scandal.
Okay, but anyway, what I was gonna say about your
Sorry.
having epilepsy, because my brother a little while ago was dating somebody who had epilepsy,
Oh,
but it was
yeah.
like new to their. It was a new relationship, and so they hadn't like sat down with my brother and given like the
Yeah.
whole rundown of things, and they were out to dinner with us, and so they ended up having an epileptic seizure, and instead
worst
of me
times.
calling 911, this person's parents, anybody who would know this person for long, like my brother,
All
had known
of
them
which
for like
you should
3
do.
weeks. All of which you should do.
If you don't know what to do, call 911.
Yes, I called Jasmine and said, "Hey."
So from my perspective, I was just chilling out. I don't remember what I was doing, but
It's the stupidest
I was
thing.
just chilling out in my room, and I just get a call. Oh, look, it's Elizabeth. Hey, how's it going? Oh.
I know. And then, but the best part was, okay, because it ended up being fine. I won't go into too much detail for, obviously that person's privacy.
But they're good.
Yeah, they're good, and like they were happy that we didn't call an ambulance because it happens, and they
Yeah.
didn't want, and it didn't go on for longer than 5 minutes or anything, so it was fine. It ended up being fine. But and I knew that was one thing that my brother did know. He was like, we just have to time it, and if it goes longer than 5 minutes, then we call 911. But other than that, it should be fine.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
we just didn't know like what to do when it's happened, like anything like that. And so that's why I called you. But it was
Because
just so funny because you said, is it a grand mal seizure? And I'm panicking. I have never heard that term before in my life. And I'm like, Jasmine, why are we joking about grandmas right now? This is not what I need in my life. And I was like,
In retrospect, I should have maybe been a little more empathetic, but I said grand mal seizure, which is the term for like
for full,
which is
like-
actually not the correct term anymore. It's like it's an outdated
I
term.
did look that up, but it was just
Because now they're
so-
called, I believe, tonic-clonic seizures.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, but it was just so funny because I was like, this is not the situation for jokes. And here's Jasmine making a joke because she's had a seizure before and like it's not a big deal.
You saw-
It was so funny.
Probably not in the moment.
It was not funny in the moment.
I'm glad
I
she was
very
okay,
freaked
though.
out. Oh yeah, they were fine. It was
Anyway,
great.
if someone around you having a seizure, make sure their head's not hitting anything. Make sure their head is on their side so they're not choking on their tongue or whatever's coming out of their throat. And if it's going on for too long, for like longer than 5 minutes, call 911. Also, if they've never had a seizure before, definitely call 911.
Or if you just like are seeing somebody and you don't know, like call 911. Obviously.
If you're unsure about whether or not you should call 911, call 911.
But that was the one thing that we did know is to not do it unless it was more than 5 minutes. That's the only reason we didn't. But it was still funny because it was just, I was like, Jasmine. In that moment, hello.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry that I promise you that if you ever call me, about someone having a seizure again, the first question I ask will not be, is it a grandma seizure? Anyway,
You gotta start. I want to hear this story.
Okay. So I wrote very in depth for a little bit, and then I stopped. So
okay,
I'm gonna do it in the same style that you do yours. I'm copying you.
Okay.
So here's the situation. It's like, what was the oldest year that Harry Potter was like casual before everything started to like die?
Probably third or fourth year.
Okay, so it's around third or
fifth year. Things definitely took
fifth.
a turn.
Yeah, fifth. Because that's when either Fred or George died.
No.
When did Fred or George die?
That was nobody. Neither of them died until the last book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who died in the fifth book?
Sirius.
Oh, maybe I'm getting it confused with that somehow. I'm not a very big Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
Anyway. So here's the situation. It's the third year. So Harry's built up a reputation, for being a bit of a troublemaker. Not all the teachers like him. Some of the teachers that don't like him, you got Severus Snape, and you got Argus Filch, because he's always cleaning up the messes that this Potter lad is making. So Filch is just, creeping around the halls, doing his nightly walk around, but he just has a feeling. He has a feeling in his bones that Harry's out there somewhere causing mischief. So it's like, you know what? Today I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna find Harry. I'm gonna catch him red-handed. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. Right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. So he's going around the hallway with his lantern, Mrs. Norris on his shoulder. The paintings being like, go back to sleep, because that's what the paintings do.
That is what the paintings do.
And finally he hears footsteps. So they're just going. I'm making this a real ASMR experience. He just hears the.
I don't know if you can hear that.
It doesn't matter. Either way, it's funny.
I know.
Either way, this is comedic
gold. You just don't
gold.
hear anything, and it's just you can't hear the
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, continue.
And then a gust of cold wind blows. So he hears these lovely footsteps, and he's like,
"Who are the footsteps?"
Well, who else could they be but Harry Potter? Who else would be awake at this hour?
That's so true.
Everyone's asleep. Filch is the only one up. So, I mean, worst case scenario, he's catching just some rambunctious teenager making mischief, as they do. As they do. And so, but he knows it's Potter. I mean,
he knows. We all know it's Harry.
It's always Harry. Not as in the adjective, as in the person. I need to stop. So he hears the footsteps. He gets behind a corner. He's waiting. The footsteps are approaching. They're going.
I can't breathe. Okay.
Are you?
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm always ready.
The footsteps are approaching. Right? And he hears them. They're approaching the corner. And just at the last second, he jumps out and he says, "Gotcha, Potter!" I'm trying to give the audience.
You're gonna kill the headphone users. That's all. I'm gonna say.
In the beginning of the video, warning headphone users. Yeah. Jasmine's the worst. So, but it's not Harry.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh my gosh, who would it be?
It's Severus Snape.
Whoa.
What is Severus Snape? Severus? What? Severus?
What could Severus be doing?
What could Sassybus Snape be doing awake at this hour? Because it's like late. Like it's not like
it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, no. Like okay. it's the wee hours of the morning.
Okay.
You invited me here.
I know, and I'm kind of regretting it. No,
you should be. So he says, "Snape, what are you doing here?" And Snape's like, "Well, it's kind of embarrassing." Snape starts to blush a little bit because Snape he puts out this tough exterior and is canonically a bad person. I want to make that clear. Canonically, Snape is a bad person.
Okay.
This is not canon.
That's Are you sure?
Actually, no, this is canon. Snape is still a bad person, but Snape also is just like really embarrassed sometimes. And so, in the light of Filch's lantern and Snape's wand, Filch sees Snape's cheeks. I can't talk. Leave me alone. Snape's cheeks go. Snake's cheeks go a little red, and he says, "Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but I was looking for Harry Potter because I felt like he was up to something tonight." And Filch was like, "Oh my gosh."
Literally same.
Literally samesies.
That's so
Because that's how Argus Filch talks. LOL, literally samesies. That's what I was doing. That's why I jumped out at you and screamed so loudly and woke up all of the nearby paintings, who, by the way, this entire time are watching, and they are just...
Okay.
That's part of the reason Snape's embarrassed.
Okay, yeah, because it's like, oh no.
And it's kind of embarrassing for all of them because they're just like they're like in the middle of the corridor.
Yeah.
So all of the paintings in like the entire hall are just like, bro, I'm
like,
sleeping here.
They're literally just doing their best.
I'm-
And then they just,
Yeah. Like, how would you feel if you were just resting? Which you know a lot about, Miss Narcolepsy.
Okay, wow. I don't have narcolepsy, but okay.
Well, we thought you did.
That's true.
And you've fallen asleep on piano benches.
I have.
And so Filch is like, you know what, Snape, I have a great idea. Two is always better than one. And so why don't we search for Potter together? You know, we can really get him. I can get the satisfaction of getting him in trouble. You can finally prove to Dumbledore that he's really just... Oh my gosh, why is my necklace like this? Bro, what? You can finally prove to Dumbledore that he's the worst and that he's not the chosen one. And, you know...
Because him getting in trouble one time means he's no longer the chosen one.
Sure.
Yep.
We could... That's canon.
Yep.
Basically just prove this Potter boy's a rascal. Because that's also how Filch talks.
Filch should have a Valley Girl voice. Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't know. So, Snape, let's go find this Potter boy together. Oh my gosh. And so they just go... I'm going to make you listen to this for way longer than you want to.
Oh gosh.
So then they are just like going down the hall.
Well, no, now you're saying... I'm saying that should be Filch's voice is the Valley Girl voice.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So then they're walking down the hallway and
looking for Potter together.
looking for clues, if you will. Real Scooby-Doo kind of vibe.
Okay.
As they were walking, there's someone left. Do they have lunchboxes in Harry Potter?
Almost definitely not, but you know what? This is your version, Jasmine.
That's true.
They can do whatever you. They can have whatever you
it
want.
It needs to be canon.
No, it doesn't.
Someone.
No, it doesn't. Just they have a lunchbox.
Okay.
Now. Sure, I don't know.
So someone left their lunchbox.
Their magical lunchbox.
Their magical lunchbox.
Okay.
Just in the hall, and Filch didn't see it because it's dark.
Yeah.
And so Filch trips over it and he goes, "Wait, what's the Valley Girl voice again? Oh my gosh." Filch goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm tripping." Which is the noise you make when you trip.
That's what I do when I trip.
And he falls, but Snape's there, and Snape catches him. And as he catches him, he holds his hand.
No.
But then he said, "Oh, sorry," and then they both get back up and kind of brush themselves off.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Try to get the red out of their face.
Yeah,
and lower their lights a little bit so the other person can't see because you don't want to be embarrassed. They're searching around the hall. They're occasionally their hands will like brush up against next to each other. No, their hands are brushing up against next to each other. What if I'm like applying for a job in the future and like this is what the employer finds when they search up my name?
I can't acknowledge that because then the same thing would happen to me. So that's why we have no last names and we. Yep.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. So, well, it's also linked to my social media. Okay. Anyway.
That was a you choice. You made that choice.
That's entirely true. I suffer the consequences of my actions.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. So, they're and then the two of them they hear a scuttling.
A
scuttling. Not like human, but a little like
Is it Peter Pettigrew?
This takes place before the events of Prisoners of prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoners, multiple.
There's multiple. There's more of them. But they hear a little. Wait, no, that's not correct. It's like a little.
Literally, shut up.
I have no idea how this is gonna sound. It's gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be so bad.
I'm not gonna watch this podcast episode. But they hear a little scuttling, so they're like, "Well, we know Hogwarts doesn't have a rat problem, right?"
I guess, yeah, it's your canon.
Yeah, no, Hogwarts doesn't have a rat problem. Because how would it have a rat problem?
Yeah, it's magic.
Yeah, they have like magic rat traps or whatever. They totally could have caught Peter Pettigrew.
They really should have.
Anyway. So they hear a little scuttling, and I'm like, what's the scuttle?
Yeah, he's like, Mrs. Norris, you better handle that.
So Mrs. Norris immediately just dips.
Okay.
Mrs. Norris is
She's like,
gone.
I'm scared of this scuttling? Or like,
no,
just...
she's going for the scuttling.
Oh, she's going for the
scuttling.
scuttling.
It's like a predator-prey instinct. Because it sounds like, like a rat, a small rodent, something like that. Something a cat would eat.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Norris, she darts off. And then now the two of them are truly alone. Because you're never alone.
You're never alone if there's a cat.
Well, also, I guess there are the living paintings on the walls, so they're kind of not alone, but they're more alone than they were before.
Those portraits witness too much to care about anything. You know what I'm saying?
How much stuff do you think those portraits have witnessed?
I bet it's too much. I bet they've witnessed
in our high
severely
school,
traumatizing things in the hallways.
Because I've seen remember that couple last year that would just
gosh, yes, full on, full on.
There was this couple that would just make out in the hallways
during COVID.
Yeah, this was during the point where we still had to wear masks.
We were all wearing masks all the time,
and it wasn't like they went to
so much.
No, literally, they were
so much. It was it was so bad, and the hands too. It was a lot.
It
was a lot.
One of them was not on the ground. I remember.
Yeah.
So
anyway, point is, those portraits probably witnessed way too much happening.
Yeah.
At any given moment.
I do not have high hopes for magical people. So the portraits, they're just annoyed by the light.
Yeah,
they this entire time they're just yelling, "Can you turn down that light? Can you turn down that light, mister?" I don't know what portrait that is.
Okay.
Do you do a portrait voice?
No.
What you have to do. This is what the fans want, Elizabeth.
Oi, can you turn down the light, mate?
Turn down the light, innit?
Oi, mate, turn down the light.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody's gonna watch this.
No, this is gonna be.
They're gonna have watched the beginning and then just turn it off.
You are going to lose so many followers.
But anyway, they're in the hallway. I'm invested in this. So we keep on stalling. And
I know.
I'm
so sorry. I did not take my medicine, my ADHD medicine.
Oh my god.
Took my epilepsy meds, but
that's good.
Yeah. So Snape's like, fine, I'll turn off my wand. So then they just have the flickering light of
the lantern.
Filch's lantern. He's walking. And, Snape and Filch is like a shaky guy, right?
Yeah,
he shakes a lot. And so Snape's like, hey, if your arm's getting tired of carrying that, I can carry that. And Filch was like, really? You would do that for me? And Snape was like, yeah, I mean, it's just a lantern. And so Filch was like, okay. So he gives he gives Snape the lantern. He gives Snape the lantern, and as they're doing that, yet again their hands brush for but a moment.
Okay.
But the sparks that flew in that moment of their hands touching and their eyes locked.
Oh my gosh!
For a brief moment, the rest of the world was quiet. Okay, now let's go find Potter.
They broke away.
We gotta go find Harry Potter. We know he's up to mischief. We cannot get distracted.
No, yeah, you can't get distracted by sparks flying.
Exactly.
It's too much.
We don't have time for that.
No, nobody has time for that.
So they're still walking in this corridor, and they just are finding nothing.
Nothing.
Like normally. Like, the most exciting thing they found was the lunchbox.
Oh, my gosh.
Like even on a normal day, Filch would normally find more stuff.
Yeah.
Like he would find like a few like robes that were left on the floor, or like some crumbs of food.
Some person left all of their clothes on the floor.
Not all of their clothes.
No.
Don't you wear the robes over your clothes?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I assume so. Some like things from Broomsticks. You know, it's just because the weekly cleaning hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
There's weekly cleaning at Hogwarts. That's canon now.
That has always been canon. There are house elves.
But is it a weekly basis?
I believe it's an every night basis, but maybe not in the hallways. We can say not in the hallways.
It's a weekly basis in the hallways.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's just nothing.
There's nothing
and they're
there.
just and it's getting almost boring. Like normally looking for Potter isn't boring.
Yeah.
Normally he's doing something.
Uh-huh.
But no, it seems like Potter might just be asleep in his bed. So they're like,
Crazy.
You know what? There's only one way we can figure out whether or not Potter is in the halls or not.
Okay.
And that is by breaking into the Gryffindor common room.
Oh my gosh! No! Why?
Because they need to see if Potter's in his bed.
Okay, sure.
So, now, this is an issue for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I wonder
because
why.
that is the sleeping quarters of minors.
Yeah.
And they are adults.
Yeah.
So this is a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot get caught doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
So wrong.
Yeah, they both of these characters are bad and have issues.
No, yeah, we know. We've been new.
But they're like, okay. So we don't know the passcode.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Snape
It's a
might.
code. It's a word, not a code. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, the code word.
Yeah.
It's a code. Screw you.
It's a password. It's not a code.
Do you want to fight?
A code implies
Do you want
numbers.
to fight? Do you want to fight?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't know the passcode. I'm kidding, kids. Don't solve your problems with violence. So they're like, okay, what else could we do? Obviously, you go to the window.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously. Because I don't know if you have read the books or seen the movies.
I have done both, actually.
I'm shocked by this, but Harry's bed is in fact near to a window.
That is true.
It is true. So they're like, look, we just need to get up to the window and we can just look in the room, see if Harry's in there, see if maybe Ron, because Ron
is always up to something.
Ron. If Harry's up to something, Ron is too.
Yeah,
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
They're just like James and Sirius in that way.
Yep. You got it.
Just
I'm so
the
proud of
best
you.
of buddies.
Let's go, man. Oh my god.
I have seen one episode of her
love
podcast. But yeah, so they're like, okay, got to get up to the window. How do we get up to the window? Obviously, you do, say it with me, fly on the broomstick.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm good. You're good on you for following my train of thought.
I do see where this is
Okay,
going, and
so-
it is making me wildly uncomfortable.
Anyway,
That's crazy.
so they go outside. They because sorry, they're not outside yet. And Filch is like, but I never learned how to ride a broom.
He's a squib. I don't even know if he can.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But Snape's like, it's okay. I can show you the ropes. I can teach you how to ride a broom. Can squibs ride brooms?
It's your version, Jasmine. It is up to you.
I'm thinking
Well,
long and hard.
I think they for sure can ride it with somebody.
Exactly. Well, that's the next point. So
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was.
Filch's just like, yeah, I'm a squib. I can't ride brooms. And Snape's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That was so insensitive of me. I should have thought. Right,
Snape.
how about what if I take you on my broom? Just like, really? It's like, yeah, we can ride on we can ride on the same broomstick. And he's like, okay.
This is so funny to me. I'm
So-
obsessed.
I have spent so much time thinking about
Oh
this,
my
Elizabeth.
gosh.
have no
I'm
idea.
so sorry.
Like, no, don't. I did this to myself.
I know you did, but I'm still sorry that I had any part in it. Okay, but I gotta know. We gotta keep on going.
Well, what happens next? You maybe think. So they go
Yes.
outside. The wind's blowing. It's not raining, but
it's a stormy. A storm is on the way.
yeah, like
Okay.
a storm's gonna be there in like about noon tomorrow.
Okay,
Like so
sure.
so there's no rain yet, but you got the wind going.
Not the ASMR again. You're gonna ruin my mic.
I'm so sorry, microphone. You got the wind going. I don't know if
I
that
think
picked
you
up.
can just hear your bracelets, and that's it.
You hear the rattling of the leaves in the
leaves in the
trees.
trees.
The very hard leaves. Anyway, so they go outside, and Filch is like, Snape, I'm scared. And Snape's like, why are you scared? And he's like, well, I've never been on a broom before.
I'm flying for the first time in my life.
This is
Snape.
really strange.
Uh-huh.
So Snape's like, okay, fine. We don't have to go straight up there. We can start a little lower. So Snape gets on the back of the broom, and Filch
I can't get over this mental image.
and Filch gets in front of him, and the mental image is only gonna get better because then Filch gets in front of him. Snape wraps his arms around Filch to grab the front of the broom because obviously he needs to steer.
Continue.
Actually, no. Snape
Yes,
is
he does.
no. Snape is not. Snape is in front, and Filch is
Filch is
behind. It's like when you see couples riding in a motorcycle.
I know, but I kind of like the other way better.
I kind of do too. But
I kind of like.
can Snape see that way?
Well, Snape is tall and.
You're right. Canonically, Filch is like a foot shorter than Snape. now.
Okay.
So he can just Snape's like, hold on. Snape's like, give me your head. Give me.
I'm scared. What
Snape's
am
like
I? Okay.
doing that, so he can see over, Filch's head. Snape and Filch have the same height difference as me and you.
No.
I am the Snape to your Argus Filch.
Why would you say that? Oh my gosh.
Anyone who has ever made a fan art, make a fan art of Filch and Snape on that broom.
But it's just me and you.
You can do one with me and Elizabeth. That would also be great. Make both. If anyone makes those, I will genuinely pay you money. So they get on the broom. Mm-hmm. They lift off and they're hovering a little bit. Mm-hmm. Filch is a little bit shaky because this is his first time.
Yeah,
he's nervous, and it's also, but it's cold enough, so it might be the cold, but it's kind of nerves.
Be something else,
But it also might be nerves from something else.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little bit, because now Filch is thinking to himself. He's like, wow, Snape he's so much taller than I ever realized. He's I feel like he understands me. I feel like we share the same desire for order and cleanliness in Hogwarts. Because that's what Filch cares about.
Okay.
Cares about order and cleanliness.
Okay.
And Snape's all about listening, and his hair is so fine and greased back, and it looks so beautiful. And his eyes are just.
I didn't ask for any of this.
And his eyes are just.
Clear.
And his eyes are just the most beautiful, piercing black that you have ever seen.
Okay.
And so Filch gets on the broom.
They're already on. We've already said that they're hovering at this point.
Oh, sorry. Rewind a little bit.
This is why you have an outline that you read while you do. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
I know.
Do I tell you how to do your podcast, Elizabeth?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You're so right. This is your podcast
Yeah.
now.
So, do you want to fight?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Solve your problems with violence, kids. Mm-hmm. So, they're on the broom. They're doing like some laps around the Quidditch course.
Okay. Just to calm Filch's nerves,
Yeah, and Filch is like, and Snape's like, hey, do you want to try to go a little bit higher? And so Filch is like, starting to warm up to the idea. Yeah, okay. I'm ready to I'm ready to start to get the hang of this. Mm-hmm. So Snape's like, all right, let's go. And then, bro, they just go zooming. Because I don't know if you knew this about Snape.
Okay.
Snape, in his free time, he loves...
He loves Quidditch?
No, not... It's
just flying.
It's like the BMX of brooms.
He likes to go fast. He likes fast brooms.
Speed. The flips. He does like ollies on his broom.
Oh
he does
my
nose
gosh.
grinds.
Okay. I can vibe.
He's like a
he's
it's a trick. He does.
It's basically parkour but on a broom.
Sure.
Okay.
He does like all the fun trick stuff and whatnot. Then they just start zooming, right? And Filch just, because of the way they're sitting, Filch just falls back into Snape's chest and he's just overwhelmed by how safe he feels. Because even though he's going at like Mach 10 or whatever, not Mach 10, that would kill him. But like he's going like super fast.
Zooming.
He's zooming. He's higher up than he has ever been in his life. Like he's above the castle at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're flying. And
literally.
literally. But he just feels safe. He feels safe. He's almost being held by Snape in a way because Snape's holding on to the broom. And he smiles to himself.
Oh.
Oh.
How much plot is there to this?
None.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
And so we're actually fairly close to the end.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
So and Snape's like, "Hey, I want to show you something." It's like, "Okay." And
it's Harry's bedroom.
It's not Harry's bedroom.
Dang it.
Both of them have like practically forgotten about Harry at this point.
That's not the vibes anymore.
They're because Filch he's just thinking about how lovely this time is with Snape, and Snape is just thinking to himself, really asking himself how he never realized how nice it was to spend time with Filch. He takes him to the very top, or not the top, but there's you know how there's a mountain nearish.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there is, because I didn't know that for sure. I did very little research. There's a mountain.
I feel like there was in the movies. I don't think it was ever mentioned in the books, but yes, there's a
mountain.
Sure, there's a mountain.
There's a mountain
now.
And he takes him to this little cliff face, and it's so if the mountain is here, this is Hogwarts, and this is like the big lake.
Okay.
So they're sitting on a little ledge.
Yeah.
And they're just looking over, and you can see the school, and you can see the lake. And just as they sat down, the sun starts to rise. Because it's
been hours and
hours. It's been
hours.
They've been flying around
for a good solid while.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness. And then so they're just sitting next to each other. And Filch thinks to himself, you know what? I'm not going to hide from my feelings. I'm not going to just live my life based on order. You know, sometimes you got to sometimes you got to take a risk.
Sometimes you got to just switch things up, you know?
Yeah, so
just go for it.
So he's sitting next to Snape, and just ever so quietly, he just holds Snape's hand, and Snape holds it back. And that's where the story ends.
Oh!
That's the Snelch fan fiction.
You're telling me they don't kiss at the end of that?
I didn't know if that was appropriate. Okay, hold on.
Kiss.
Okay, hold on. Well then.
Okay, now we have to rewrite it. Okay.
No, then we're just cutting that part.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say so we're in. So
Actually, I don't know if I'm okay with them kissing. Not because of the podcast or anything, just because I don't think I'm physically comfortable.
That sucks. So rewind.
Okay.
So they're sitting on the cliff face. The sun starts to rise, and Filch is like, you know what? You need to take a chance sometimes in life. You need to be bold. You need to be risky. You know. And so, sorry, I just bumped the mic. He just takes Snape's hand, gives it a little squeeze. Snape gives it a little squeeze back. Then they look into each other's eyes.
I'm not gonna kiss you.
I know. I'm just gonna. Don't ruin it, Elizabeth. You're taking people out of the moment. So, and then Severus says, because I'm the Snape to your Filch. He says,
shoot, okay.
Filch, you are more, or no, he says, Argus, you are more beautiful than any sunrise in the world. And Filch just feels the blood rush to his face. His cheeks are red and splotchy, and he turns away, and Snape just takes his hand under Argus's chin, and then they lean in, and then they kiss.
Whoa!
And
see, that's an ending.
And that's the ending.
That's
I didn't know if
fantastic.
I didn't know if I was allowed to write in a kiss.
You're allowed to write in a kiss.
Okay.
Yeah, have you not been in an episode that's had a kiss?
I don't know.
That's so
Elizabeth.
disappointing.
It's entirely possible, but
I know you don't remember anything.
I don't
about
remember
my podcast.
it.
Yeah,
No, it's not. I don't remember anything about your podcast. It's I don't remember anything. Period.
that's very
It's
true.
full stop.
That's very true.
Like I'm not entirely certain I could recount the events of this fan fiction.
Okay.
I could probably.
You just did it all from memory, though. You didn't check anything.
Do you think that was what I had written down?
Well, no, I don't think that you had written down all of it, but you like checked it like maybe once or twice at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you just did the whole
Elizabeth,
rest of it from memory.
At least half of that was just me making
Oh
stuff
my
up.
gosh.
Actually, Elizabeth, I need to be entirely transparent with you.
Okay. Have you
It's all been a facade. I haven't written anything
I
else.
love that. I love that.
I didn't write an outline or anything. I just because here's
When
what I
I
did.
asked you if you were ready, you were just like, yeah, sure, let's go for it.
No, because here. So you know the other day when I texted you, it's finished.
Yes.
That was just flat out a lie. I was lying not because I wanted to
You
deceive you.
lied to Emma?
Well,
To Emma?
because I did lie to Emma because I hate Emma, but not because I hate you. I wanted. That's a joke, by the way, audience. I love Emma.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like, I need to motivate.